All right, wonderful. So, welcome everybody. It is April 7th, and I survived my concert yesterday. So, I'm so glad to be here, and I'm so glad that people came and sent the well wishes because it went really well. So, very, very, very grateful. Can't wait to share you the pictures and the videos down the road. So, um, we shared, this was the deep question. Uh, when was the last time you laughed so hard you cried? So hopefully that you can think about that. And this is the other card. Better than yesterday, no complaints. Stop for the next 24 hours. Try your best to stop when you feel like complaining. Cutting out complaining will naturally shift your perspective from one of to optimism and gratitude. So just want to share that with you guys. We shared that personally. Um, I am a big fan of this book, The Book of Awakening by Mark Nepo. If you haven't read that before, it's wonderful, and it's just like enough for my attention span because it's like always one page. It's by the month or daily. So he wrote it when he was dealing with a cancer diagnosis, and I think he's still alive. So he lived through it, and it's all about his insights. Wonderful writer, really good writer. And I thought his quote for today was really nice, kind of with the theme that I was thinking of today. So the quote he put is by Zhang Zhu, which is the whole world could praise Sang Zhang Zhu, and it wouldn't make him expert himself. The whole world could condemn him, and it wouldn't make him mope. He drew a clear line between the internal and external, and that's Zhang Zhu. So these words were spoken by Zhang Zhu in the 4th century BCE, and I read them 15 years ago. So this is what he writes, and he put them on his closet so he could remind him not to let opinions of others shape him. Since then, that has helped him a lot with his things. So I just thought that was a nice little quote, uh, nice little reminder. Um, I know for me, it's very easy to want to have other people's approvals and opinions, right? Um, to validate yourself, but trying to have a separation with that. So that was kind of the theme I thought for today's meditation and song. So there is a song, it's been in my head all week. I probably won't do justice to it, but I'll send a link to you. It's a song by Heather Houston. So she is my mentor for song leading. Doing a training program with her for 5 months. She's out of California. She just had a vocal summit where she had about 20 different song leaders singing for the last 4 days. She had all the heavy hitters like Maggie Wheeler, Melanie DeMore, all these amazing song leaders. But this is her song. It's really simple. It says, "You are so loved." That's all it is. So I have an average voice, so please join me. But it's a nice song. It goes, "You are so loved. Ooh, you are so loved. Ooh, you are so loved. Ooh, and then so we'll do it again for that. So that's kind of the song. So it's a really beautiful chorus that when you hear it, it's amazing. She has her whole choir singing with her. So it's so good. So it's a catchy phrase. I feel like that's a good one to hear. So you are so loved. Ooh, you are so loved. Ooh, you are so loved, so loved. And I see the kitty cat. So let's go to the beginning. Uh, you are so loved. You are so loved. You are so loved. You are so loved. Let's do it again. Doesn't it sound so beautiful? I don't do justice as compared to her, but you are so loved. Ooh, you are so loved. Ooh, you are so loved. You are so loved. So I just think that's a beautiful Beautiful, beautiful song, and I can't wait to share the link with you to even hear it better. But hopefully that song maybe gets in your brain and you can feel it. And I feel like that's a nice song to move into a meditation, getting into our body and thinking of, and maybe I'll sing it one more time just because it's so beautiful. So getting comfortable in your body if you're not already. Nice hip width, shoulder width, and just let's sing that song one more time. You are so loved. Ooh, you are so loved. Ooh, you are so loved. You are so loved. So I invite you to let those words resonate in your body. Maybe it flies up into the air and just imagine it settling down somewhere in your body where it needs more love. Perhaps the area that you need more healing, or maybe to calm the healing down. Maybe you have too much going on. So balancing out that energy and maybe thinking of a tender heart. What is something the challenge card for today was not to try to complain for 24 hours. Maybe thinking of a place in your body that you've recently complained about. I can think about 20 today. My body kind of got pushed to the max yesterday, so I can feel it. But try to send that message of that you are so loved, that energy. Maybe it's a color or shape that you're imagining in your mind and sending it to maybe 20 areas to your body or that one spot, or maybe you're in perfect harmony and that is such a blessing. And you could send that beautiful love and healing light to somebody else that you know is needing more energy. So if you're feeling abundant and centered and wonderful, that's one, I'm very happy for you. And, send that good energy then on to others. And for people receiving that beautiful balance of love, letting yourself know that you are so loved. I know sometimes growing up, I did not feel that. I had a brother who was not complimentary, very complimentary, so I didn't usually feel that so much. So, and then maybe you have been in a situation similar to that as well, where you wanted feedback from other people. You wanted, like that Mark Nepo talked about, finding that balance of, between the internal, he drew a line. It says a clear line between the internal and the external. So separating those two, and I feel like that song, "You Are So Loved," does that beautifully. And if you can imagine your inner voice singing that song, that you are so loved. And maybe it's something that you need healing with. Maybe it's not a physical manifestation in your body. It is a past issue that you had or situation, or maybe it's currently going on right now. There's a lot of things to upset our internal balance. There's a lot to care about and caring about our bodies and mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. And let's take a deep breath a few times, feeling that beautiful resonance. And if you like that imagery, I love imagery. I know Samira, uh, if you don't know her, I'll send you a link in the chat or the Zoom link. And Sammy, they do beautiful meditations, visualization, and Janine. Find a place that you love being. Maybe it's up in the clouds, maybe it's by a lake or a river, maybe it's next to the trees and hearing the birds. Visualizing a place of beauty. Maybe it's dark and cool night in a warm tropical place, right? Maybe it's in the sunlight. in the middle of a lake, and feeling the inner core of your being, sensing all that beauty around you. And I want you to sense all that beauty that's inside of you. And if it's hard to sense anything, just notice. That's the first part, is noticing. Feeling that gratitude for this moment, for things that we love, for the technology in this world to connect us through this recording, through Zoom, on YouTube. Feeling that sense of love for this moment, for our body, for ourselves, and for others. And let's take a breath. And I'd like to invite you, as we come to an end of this meditation, a vocal whisper of the words of the lyrics of the song that we sang by Heather Houston, which is, "You are so loved." And maybe put a hand on your heart, letting yourself know that you are so loved. And again, letting yourself know you're so loved. Whatever you're going through physically, emotionally, mentally, letting yourself, you are so loved. Now let's take slowly 3 nice, slow, deep breaths as we come out of this meditation and we slowly move into movement. So, first, nice deep breath. And then slow exhale. Feeling the hand on our heart. Let's do that again. Nice slow inhale. And a nice slow exhale. One last time. Slowly lower our hand if it was on our heart. Maybe rub our hands. Let's rub our hands and then slowly go up our face and around, sending that love through the bridge of our nose, around the cheeks, making a heart shape. And let's do that one more time. And let's just gently release, do some little acupuncture as we move into some slow, gentle movement. And we'll do some lymphatic work. And if you want, we can do a little vocal exercise if we have time. And let's do the other side. So this is where the index and the thumb meet together. Just gently press. It shouldn't hurt. If it does, then make it lighter. And while we're doing this, coming up in the last weekend of April is World Tai Chi and Qigong Day. And let's do the base of the palm, just very gently in a circle. Usually it's like where the index fingers go down. That's where you do it. That's the Lao Gong point. And you can do both directions. So yeah, if you guys don't know, World Tai Chi and Qigong Day is really fun everywhere around the world at 10 a.m. your time, whatever that is. There is a celebration where people are doing Tai Chi and Qigong. So here in Minnesota, there is a place, if you guys are interested, is in Inver Grove Heights. They're meeting at 9:30 a.m. so that we do the movement at 10 a.m. on time. And it's fun to watch. So if you're looking for something free, I think there is some stuff online too. So if you don't know about those are a lot of fun. Also, it's nice to rub these are lung points right here by the clavicle. So you can gently rub the lungs, but again, being gentle. Nice. And they also say you can rub your clavicle, but be very careful if you have any autoimmune conditions. It can activate, they say, so being very gentle. This can help your immune system though too, rubbing the clavicle as well. All right, so it's a little rubbing in our chair. If I'm gonna go a little bit further back, I do have a little mini mic, which sounds like you guys can hear me good. And now I'm in the sunlight, so much fun. So I'm gonna do it in a chair, most of the movements, just because it's a little bit easier and I am a little bit more tired. Um, but let's do this one movement. I don't think I've shown it to you. This is a variation of the punch. So you hand goes out, hands open, and go down, and then come back. So hands go out like a punch, thumb goes up, thumb goes down inward, and then kind of pull back, kind of like you're opening up a door. So a lot of times you'll see people doing punches, but this one is kind of a fancier one, which is fun. It's a challenge for the brain, isn't it? Right? I know for me, the first time I did, I'm like, huh? So I like those things when you go, huh? Because then you're learning, which is great for your brain and neurodiversity as we get older. So opening up, going down. You know, the first time I did this after a while, I could hear like a, like a noise in my shoulder. So you can make this smaller. It doesn't have to go out at shoulder height. It can be chest height. So listen to your body. Anytime we say in Tai Chi and Qigong, if you're hearing things, don't do it or make it smaller, more comfortable within your body frame. Good. Let's keep doing that. If you're standing with this, you're in horse stance, they call it, which is your hip width apart and your foot is at a slight angle, like you're on a horse. I know we got a horse lover in this group chat, so horses are fun. And let's do this one. All right, let's do that one more time, each stance. Yeah, so let me show it to you in case you are standing. So your feet would be just hip, horse stance, right? Hip width apart, a little bit at an angle. Punch, open, go down and back. Right, punch, open, go down and back. So they say it's good for your kidney points to stand because the bubbling well, which is the K9 kidney meridian 9, which is at the base of the foot, is known to help with your kidney support system, which is your life chi. So your life energy is in your kidneys. There is a wonderful book if you love to learn more about acupuncture and how it relates to the Western world. I have a link on my website, so I can put that link in there. But it's the Magic Behind the Machine, I believe is the name. I read it a few years ago, and it was a lot of Western medical terminology. I had no idea. So it's a really good book for people that have a medical background as well. All right, this is fun, isn't it? You guys it looks like you guys are getting the hang of it, liking it. All right, let's do that one last time if you were standing. Maybe you feel a gentle stretch in your back. I'm feeling that. We always want to go out about 70%. All right, so that's one movement right there. And since we are standing, yes, I'll write the book down. It's The Spark in the Behind the Machine. Actually, I can see the book from where I'm standing right now. So let me show it to you. This is that's what the book looks like. The Spark in the Machine. So it's a really nice acupuncture Western book written by somebody in Britain. How Science of Acupuncture Explains the Mystery of Western Medicine. So yeah, I'll send you a link. So that's a good one. All right. So since we are standing, there is a chair version. You can do this one, but this is that's that movement what we did. There's two versions, like a normal punch, um, which so like if traditionally, and we would never extend 100%. I would never lock my arm in Tai Chi and Qigong. You would always put like 70%. You see how there's like a nice curve. I'm not 100. So traditionally, you see a lot of people just doing punches, but not extending, not 100%. Nothing locked, more like 70%. So they would do the same thing, but just, and a lot of times people like to, bend their knees a little bit, soften the knees, rise up a little bit. Having the movement ideally come up through the feet, through your dantian, and express through your arms. That's ideally what when we do this movement. So, coming down, feeling the movement actually come up like a spiral through the whole body. That's the ultimate goal, which took me 10 years to like feel. So if you got it right away, kudos to you. So this would be, like a traditional way, commonly used in eight-piece brocade, which is Bajang Jin. All right, so we've done a lot of punching, so let's do the other movement. There's two different versions that I've learned. This one is the new version. So for this one, you just bring your hands up and bounce on your heels and bring the hands in. So it's kind of up, swing down, opening up, swing, come in. And there's a breathing pattern. So inhale, exhale. It's very invigorating because you're doing it fast, right? Inhale, and then so inhale, exhale. So if you're in a chair, you would just kind of mirror the best you can. Unfortunately, you can't. I would lift my heels. I got to change my camera a little bit more to get that, but you would lift your heels a little bit. There we go. Perfect. So you would lift your heels, swing up, and then drop the heels at the same time. It's not the exact same, but it's the best thing, So you're lifting up, exhale. So inhale from an angle. So it's very invigorating, isn't it fun? Um, so let's do that a few more times, however you like it better. Inhale, exhale, and let's do that one more time. Very energizing, very invigorating. So let's do there's another way. So this is another way by Mimi Deemer. And this one, you actually bend over. So if you're in a chair, let me show it to you what it looks like in a chair. So if you're in a chair, put one leg in front of the other. So you don't lose your balance. You gently go over. You slowly come back up, open up the shoulders to the chest, come back to center and shake. So it's a little different. It kind of has that shaky motion. So again, if you're in a chair, you bend down, slowly rise back up, open the chest, and shake. And you can kind of mirror your heels. If you're standing, you would have your feet hip width apart, knees definitely bent, so that if you bend over, you can use your knees for rising up. Slowly open up your chest to the sky and shake. So let's do that again. Rising up, opening the chest, and shake. Yeah, so it feels nice. Both are fun ways, right? So they call it shake the back to eliminate 1,000 illnesses. And the other one, I'm trying to remember how it's said, but it's something like that. I'll type it up. You'll see it in the notes. And opening up and shake. Let's see if we can go in a bit slower. Letting your body dangle like a rag doll. Letting yourself feel soft. And then slowly rise up and shake. And maybe one last time. Going down, rising up, opening the chest, and then shake. Good. So there are some movements. Let's do some Tai Chi walking. I know I did that one time with you guys, and we haven't done it in a while, and some people liked it, and I don't know if I did it with you guys. So maybe some of you have done Tai Chi walking, but basically Tai Chi walking, you put one foot in front, you shift the weight to the point where you pick up the back foot and you're still on that one leg. You shift the weight back, you turn to an outward motion of that foot, pick up the foot, place this one in front. And it's not a big step, as you can see. shift the weight, shift back, pivot, opening up a little bit, shift your weight on that, pick up that foot, place that foot in front, feeling that empty weight, feeling all the weight here, shifting all the weight back, opening up, shifting forward, placing the other foot in front. And it's very small distance, right? It's like basically in front. You're not trying to go very far for distance. It's more of that shifting of the weight. It's not a rocking motion, but it's a shifting. So I'm going to turn around. Maybe I'll go forward so you can kind of see it that way for you. So starting with shifting the weight with one foot, shifting back, opening up. And I guess, if you're in a chair, you can visualize that you're walking, or just imagine shifting your weight back and forth on your pelvic floor. Just sitting like you're about to get out of the chair, but you don't, and shifting back and keeping your pelvis in alignment if you're doing that. And then turning out. So now you can't see my feet, so let me let me do it this way one more time so you can see my feet. So foot goes straight ahead the first time. Shift the weight, turn the foot at a V, forward, pick up that back foot, place it down, shift the weight, shift back, turn outward, shift the weight, pick up the foot again, straight on, and we'll do it one more time each side. Turning out, stepping out, shifting the weight, and shifting back. So that is Tai Chi walking. There's many styles. Some people do it outward first, but traditionally people do it straight first. But I've sometimes seen people go outward first and then shift in. There's Tai Chi for Better Balance. It's another program, but a lot of times they have you do movements in an outward motion. So I've seen sometimes people do it slightly different. Don't get confused with that. Traditionally, it's straight on. Um, and there's many different empty step walking, but that's just a little taste for today. So hopefully you like that. That's some movement. We can sit in our chairs. We can do some, if you want to do some vocal exercises just for fun, with that training. Now I'm going to get out the pretty sunlight, but it looked good in the sunlight. So for vocal chanting, I always liked vocal chanting. I know singing was a little bit, but there is a vocal warm up, just saying the consonants. So you saying the word L. So just like oh, allowing the voice to open up. Oh, oh. And then we want to say ooh. So ooh, ooh. Ooh, my voice is getting a little froggy at the end, but that's okay. A little vocal fatigue from yesterday. Oh, and then the next one, L, U, mm, mm, mm. So some fresh things. Another vocal technique that I've learned is take water and gargle. So if you got your water bottle, grab it. But try not to choke on it. But just that little bit of water and gargling is another great thing for vocal warm-ups. Also massaging your neck. So just gently massaging along the vocal, but very gentle, because this is a very sensitive area, very, very sensitive. And if you want to, around the throat, you just gently pushing one direction with one finger up with the other, very gentle. It should not hurt whatsoever. And then the other, it shouldn't affect your vocal cords, but just gently massaging. I know for me, that can help with vocal fatigue. Um, See, I might even sound better if I say, See, my sound is better there. Oh, right? It sounds even a little bit better. Also, another great singing technique or vocal technique is yawning. So when you yawn, if you notice the back of your palate opens up. So if you haven't noticed that, try that. Just yawning. You feel like a lift. You guys feel that? Like a lift? So ideally in singing, if you can get that lift, it voice resonates more. So even better. So, like you are so loved, like if you, it has that more spaciousness sound that you hear in both voices. So just having that, that yawning. And also yawning helps with stress. So if you're feeling stressed out, yawning is a good thing to do. Also, um, spitting outside, right? Making those tongues, having your tongue stick out. That can be good for your voice as well and your tongue. I've also learned another technique. I'm throwing a lot at you. I'm giving you like the 30-second version. Is doing that tongue stick out and then pull it in right away. So, and then like pull it in right away, kind of like a frog. That's kind of how I imagine. So that can be helpful in your, if you tend to be tight back here. So, of course, I'm not a medical doctor. I'm just telling you things that I have learned. So always get medical advice. But these are just things to help you if you want to help your voice a little bit sound better. All right. Also doing little circles underneath your chin. I know sometimes I've shown you guys like a massage here, but I've had actually some occupational or show that, just having your finger on your chin and just gently massaging and a circular motion underneath is a nice, it's good for your muscles and all that good stuff too. Because everybody, I mean, having a good voice is good for public speaking. It's good for communicating at your job, right? It's more than just singing. It's good for communicating. So, all right, let's go into the lymphatic work. So there's the parent technique, which I love. It's 6 deep breaths, and we're going to gently put the pressure at the eyes here point at the bridge. We're going to take slow, deep breaths if you can. And it shouldn't hurt. If you're getting a headache, then you're putting too much pressure. It should be just like, how I just put my hand on my cheek, just very light, right? I didn't go like that, just very light. So nice deep breath, and then a slow exhale. And you can have a gentle downward motion or upward lift. See what makes you feel like you breathe better. Nice inhale again. So this is lymphatic work. We're trying to open up the drainages. Exhale. Let's do that for the third time. And a nice slow exhale. Two more times. Inhale and exhale. One more time. And then we can let that release. Gently trace down the front of our face, leading into the clavicle. Doing it 5 times. I think that was 5. Then around the ears, leading it to the clavicle. And it's just very gentle. And this is really nice to do in the shower. That's what I've learned. And then, of course, I'm messing up my hair now. Um, but it's really fast in the shower. When you have water, it makes you go faster. And then go behind the head and wrap it around. So it looks like this. Wrap it around. There's actually a Qigong version. They call it like this, calling 10 fingers combing through the forest. That's my hair. All right, now let's go behind the ear, going to the clavicle, and it's the same side, and then to the other. Good. And then let's have the fingers go across the forehead. Very gentle, very loving. 2 fingers around the eyebrows. I do this stuff all the time with seniors, so anybody can do this. It's good for anybody's age. And then let's do underneath the eyes, the kind of upward motion 5 times. Then we're going to do a nice sweep across the cheek down to the clavicle. Looks like a number 7 kind of. All right, one more time. And then we take one finger, go across the cheeks, up on the side in front of your ear, and then down to the clavicle. Good. This is supposed to be good for sinuses. Allergy season's coming up. If you got outdoor allergy, so you might like to do this. And one more time, and let's do the chin, leading it to the jaw, underneath, and gently leading it to the clavicle. There is another version, a lower version, which is in your chest. So I also have a scarf. If you don't have a scarf or towel close by, grab one. Um, I found the one. This is my shawl. So we'll do a movement where you do something on your back. So the first part is going around the chest. So under the chest for ladies, and you sweep up to the clavicle 5 times. And then we go under the chest and over, leading it to the clavicle again, doing that 5 times. And then along the, what was this called again? The sternum. So on the side of that, side of the chest, I might be touching the mic. Okay. And then just going up, starting here from the base and up. So 5 times. Then we do the other side. You don't have to have your arm, but for me, it feels better. But going around the up, under the chest and around, 5 sweeps, going over the chest, leading it to the clavicle. Because the clavicle, I guess, is like a drain, or leading it to the drain in the body and then the sternum. And it's a very gentle touch, but ideally skin on skin is better. So if you can do this in the shower, even better. All right, and then the next part is a towel or a scarf. We put it behind us and we do 5 upward strokes, kind of in between shoulder blade. That's what we're trying to aim for. So gently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it doesn't have to be a lot of pressure. I think it's just rubbing that area. Somehow that's supposed to help. I'm not sure how it does work that way, but just gently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it can be a towel or a scarf, which have you. And then the last part of this parent technique is gently going down to the clavicle again, just getting everything drained there. And last light thing to help the drain of the clavicle, all that lymphatic fluid that we moved around, is gently turning your head and going across, doing that again. And it doesn't have to be super far or hypermobile. I know I'm hypermobile, so if my range is too much compared to yours, that's okay. Don't do it. And let's switch sides, putting the hands on the other. Going across again. And just trying to help let that drain. All right, good. So these are some self-care techniques, some things to make yourself feel visible. So just to kind of recap, we talked about a lot of things. We talked about this book, drop something. And then we talked about this wonderful book, Mark Bebo. And we talked about trying not to complain for 24 hours, easier said than done. And thinking about time when we laughed so hard. I think, it's I love seeing laughter and being around children. Yesterday, that was really joyful at the concert. There was a lot of children there. It was really nice. And the kids were playing and laughing, and it was so joyful just to hear their laughs. So, well, thank you so much for coming. I'm going to end the recording now so that we can spend the next 5 minutes to share with others and have them feel comfortable. So thank you for subscribing to the YouTube channel and mark the calendar last day of Saturday of April, World Tai Chi Day. And looking forward to connecting more with others. And let me stop the recording. Okay, but don't have to stop.